What's going on, people? It's your boy QuantumKye back with another intriguing video. Today we're talking about finance with Billy Carson, CEO of Forbidden Knowledge Inc. and the author of the best-selling book called Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, and I'll put a link to the book in the bio below. Billy Carson made his millions from developing and selling a technology solutions company, and now takes the time to lecture young people who share an ambition for financial freedom and hidden knowledge. As a lot of us are going through financial hardships and are struggling to get sound advice in order to remedy our situation, people like Billy Carson are doing their best to fill that gap in the market and provide young people with sound financial advice that will help both themselves and their family if they just apply the wisdom that he's sharing. So sit back and enjoy the video, and please take note and consider purchasing the book from the description below to expand on your knowledge and financial education. As our government and corporate officials care nothing about the community, they care only about money and profits, it's important that we don't neglect our futures by allowing such people to take advantage of our time and our resources. So let's jump right in, and hope you absorb the information and enjoy the video. Let's go.
You know, one of the reasons why I've done so well with myself financially over the years, and that not to say I didn't have any ups and downs, because I did, just like everyone else did. But one of my biggest strengths that I had was when it was downtime, when things were down, when finances were down or low, or money wasn't coming in as fluid as it should have been, or there were market collapses and real estate, crashes and all this kind of stuff. When those situations got real tight and real tough, guess what I was doing, guys? I would cut back and I would save money during the hard times. I would save money during the hard, toughest times. Whereas the people in the hard, toughest times, they spend every single penny because they're like, I gotta make ends meet. And when I spend all this money, I'm still gonna be negative. Well, guess what? I said, I don't care if I'm negative, I'm saving money in the downtime. I am going to cut back and save money in the downtime. I remember when the real estate market crashed, I had a few $1 million before it crashed, and I spent money on a lot of real estate, a lot of land. I bought a lot of pre-construction homes through Adams Home Builders, and some existing houses too, a small amount of flips. But the majority of the money was tied up in land and pre-construction. And then the market collapse happened, the real estate market came. I didn't see it coming. For whatever reason, I just didn't see it. I have been so good at seeing the future, but this thing, I didn't even dig into it mentally. I just assumed, boom, put all my money here, boom, it's gonna blow up. And it was going pretty good for a minute. And then all of a sudden, the bank stopped lending money. People couldn't get approved anymore. We were still selling the land, but even then, Countrywide Mortgage, they got shut down by the feds. So even at the time, even after a few minutes, after a little while, Countrywide couldn't loan money on the land anymore. So we got stuck with all this land and everything else. And I literally almost lost everything I had built, almost. I started cutting back. Okay, these cars, they got to go. This here, this got to go. This jewelry, this got to go, right? Which is just watches. I'm a watch guy. I like a lot of watches, as you guys probably know. So, but the good thing about it, again, I only buy investment watches. Investment watch, Rolexes, investment watches that maintain or increase in value, not decrease in value. I was able to get rid of 2 watches, and those 2 watches got me back into business again, re-kickstarted my business, which I got back. What I did was I flipped into mobile app development in 2008 when the market crashed. Okay, so I cut back all my losses. I reduced my expenses at my house by cutting back on certain things. I had 5 cars, I went down to 2 cars. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I only need 2 to get rid of these other 3. Cut back on different things in the house, other household expenses. It's no more going out and shopping, telling my kids, hey guys, my daughters, especially my daughters, y'all just don't go to the store and just start buying stuff anymore. Now you have to check with me before you go buy anything. I reduced and cut back significantly. I took 2 of my watches, which was the total worth was about $85,000. Those 2 watches, I only had spent probably $40,000 on acquiring them. They were worth $85,000 at the time that I got rid of them. I took that money and I kept grinding, moved that money into my mobile app development company, and built a mobile app development company from scratch, and got myself back going again. But during that whole process, I was still taking a percentage of every new client that I brought on and saving that money while things were down, while I was cutting back, while things were tight. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to find a way to get my electric bill down. My electric bill was averaging about $950 to $1,000 a month. I worked on getting my electric bill down. I was happy to get it down to $700 a month. I was happy. Okay? Just stuff like that. So that sounds like not a lot to you guys, but trust me, when things get tight, that's a lot of money. From $900 or $1,200 down to $700. Little things like that. Turning the water heater off during the day when everybody's in school. All this kind of stuff. But at the same time, things were tight, but guess what I was doing? I was still saving my money. That's how you come up. That's how you stay on top. You save in the down times, not just in the good times. If you have poor financial habits in the down times, guess what? You're gonna have poor financial habits in the good times too. And you're gonna spend every single penny you ever make. You gotta have some discipline out here. You have to understand that things don't go smooth all the time. That's why the stock market does this, right? It goes up and down. You got to be ready for the down times because the down times are coming. And I guarantee you, every single 7 to 8 years, another big downtime is coming because they do that on purpose. They can't wait to bring another downtime to you because these elites, they know that when they bring the downtime, that's when they come up. When they crash these markets, they buy low and then they bring the markets back and then they sell out high. They swing trade on a whole nother level than the average person swing trades. They crash markets, buy low. They can crash a market with a tweet. You know who people I'm talking about. They'll make a tweet and crash a whole doggone market or crash a whole stock. They'll buy that stock when it dips. Then they'll make another tweet that is in a different direction and bring the stock all the way back. They make that spread in between and they sell that stock. They probably made $100 million off that one move just by making a tweet, crashing the market. These political figures, they'll do crazy things, make crazy statements, make crazy deals to crash economies. And then buy that stuff when it's dirt cheap, fire sale, bring it back and then sell it when it's high again. That's what they do. That's their business model. It's all by design and plan. So understand the tough times are going to keep coming. Are you going to be prepared for these tough times? Are you going to be prepared for the tough times? Okay? That's how they do it. That's how they stay on top of us. They control the market, create the problem, right? Create the fear, and then they provide the solution. They bring everything back to a certain level, and then they cash out, and they do it over and over and over again. What do you think is happening with this whole Russia, Ukraine, and all this oil? The people that make money on oil are the ones controlling this whole situation. Controlling the whole situation. Who did the deal with Putin for the oil? Biden. All these people out here voting for Biden. He's our savior now. We got to get rid of Trump. I don't care about no presidents. Every 4 years, I go to the box. Every 4 years, I go to that voting. I stand in line like everyone else. Y'all think I'm there voting for somebody? When I get to the ballot, guess what I do? I do a write-in ballot. And guess what I do? I write my name. I write my name on the ballot and put it in the box. Boop. I'm the president. And I walk out of there with my chest out. I'm the president. I'm elected again. I just elected myself again. Y'all in here putting people's names on ballots and voting for all these human beings that you don't even know who the hell these people are. I vote for me. Every 4 years I vote for myself. Period. You got to take charge of your life. You got to realize you are your own president. Until you become the president of yourself and your household, you're nothing. You're zero. Absolutely nothing. You're just a sheep. You're just a sheep, and all sheep are led to slaughter. I don't care if you're left wing, right wing, all sheep led to slaughter. When you get to the end of that line, they got a hatchet down there, ready to cut your head off every single time. You got to be the president of you. So these people control these economies. They control situations. They control the future's oil. The future prices of oil, and they invest in this stuff. They crash an economy just to buy it dirt cheap, or keep it where it's at, crash an economy and make a scarcity of a particular commodity like oil. And then they go, okay, we created a perfect situation for an invasion for Ukraine. We fueled this thing. We've got it where we want it. Now it's going to happen. And because we did the deal with Russia in advance, see, they precognate all this. It's all precognated. They go, let's do the deal with Russia. Stop selling our own oil because we got to make our money now. So we're going to give the money to Russia. We're going to do this deal with Russia. But while we're doing this deal, we're going to also now set up Russia, and we're going to fuel this whole conflict. Now what we're going to do is, now that we fuel this conflict, we know it's brewing, we're going to invest in all these oil futures and just sit back and wait. And here come Putin falling for the trap. There he goes. He fell for the trap. Now guess what happened? Oil goes zoop. Oil goes all the way up. And guess who profits from that? The same people that set the whole scenario up. See, these people are operating on another level. You know, we like to joke about these politicians and call them dumb and idiots and everything else, but actually these are the smartest people on the planet. When it comes to knowing how to milk people and milk the system and make this money and pimp the entire planet, they're the smartest people when it comes to that. They're the most high IQ when it comes to that area of thinking, because they can write laws into existence, and guess what? You can't, I can't. They can crash economies. They can press a button and launch a war in a whole country and destroy 1 million people and walk around free without even worrying about getting arrested. We can't do that. These people are geniuses. Make no mistake about it. And they every 8 years or so, they're gonna bring something down on you that's gonna be a major catastrophe, whatever they come up with next. They had 9/11, you got the 2000 millennium thing, then you had the world's going to end because the Mayans said the world was going to end in 2012. You got the swine flu. You got the real estate market collapse. You got the pandemic. It just keeps going. It's never going to stop. So what are you going to do to secure yourself and your family? Are you going to continue to be like, every time I try to get on my feet, here they come again and I'm down again? Or are you going to be like, here they come again? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Because when they come at me, I just say, oh, that's all you got, man? That's all you got. Nah, you didn't even, I thought a mosquito just bit me on my cheek. Nothing happened to me. After that real estate market collapse thing, and I almost lost everything, I realized, oh, I see what they're doing. Let me go down through history and see the track record. I go backwards in time. Oh, I see now. This is a setup. This is how you guys operate. This is how, because I said, how can they let something like this happen? How can a real estate market collapse? I got to learn about that. I got to figure out why. Then when I dug into it, I saw how they do all kind of stuff, stock market, pandemic, wars, and everything else. And the further I went back in time, I noticed this cycle. Every 8 to 10 years, guys, it's coming. Another one's coming. Are you going to be ready for the next one? I was ready for this whole pandemic situation, this global sickness. I was ready. When it came, I made more money that year than I ever made in my entire life. I was more than ready. And I'm already more than ready for the next catastrophe that's coming. I'm more than ready for that. But how about you? You got to start saving and investing money in downtimes. And I'm not talking about putting money in a savings account. That's worthless. My daughter got $10,000 from a car accident she was in about 4 years ago now. And I said, what you gonna do with the money? She said, I'm gonna put it in the bank and leave it there for a rainy day. I said, okay. I'm gonna be patient with her. She's a grown woman. Let me just let her do that. Then I'm gonna come back and teach her a lesson. I called her back about maybe, I think it was like a year and a half later. I said, hey, that money that you got from the car accident, what happened to it? Oh, it's still sitting in the bank. It's $10,000. I said, yeah. She said, yeah. I said, how much did the bank pay you for that money? She said, what do you mean? They didn't pay me any money for my money. I said, well, they've been using your money the whole time it's been sitting there. You don't put money in the bank, it just sits there permanently. They take your money and they spend it on things. They loan it out to people. They make investments with your money and they don't give you any money back on it. She goes, oh, I didn't. I said, yeah, this was happening. This is how it works. I explained to her how it works. She goes, oh, wow. Take that money and invest it. She invested that money instead of letting it sit there. Now she's got 3 times the amount. She's got almost $30,000 on the $10,000 because she listened to me. If you listen to me, you do better. If you don't listen to me, you stay in the same place. I've proven it time and time again. Every time I tell one of my kids or family member or a friend something to do, if they listen, they come up. If they don't listen, they stay in the same place or lower. Fortunately, she listened to me. And she came up. She did exactly what I told her to do, and boom. You know what I'm saying? So, and now she understands. Oh, I see. You have to invest money. You can't put your money in the bank. If you put your money in the bank, you're getting pimped. Now, of course, we have to have money in the bank. Don't get me wrong. You have to have a checking account. You got to have money in there so you can use to pay for bills and expenses and if you're running a business and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about taking your money that you're going to save and just keeping 100% of that in the savings account. Now, there's two things you need to have. You need to have money that you have been saving up that will give you at least 1 year of living a lifestyle. Can you live, if everything stopped today, can you live for 1 year without working anywhere, without getting any check, no PPP, government money, and all this other crazy shit they gave you? If you can't, can you go 1 full year without getting any help from anybody? If you can't, you're in a bad place. You got to fix that immediately. That's number one. The second thing is, how much money do you have in investments? Now, that 1 year of income could be built in a combination of savings and investments, which it should be a mixed portfolio. Now, some of the things I'm going to be teaching, a lot of this is in my book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. This is why the book is a bestseller in 4 countries now. Okay, the book is a bestseller in 4 countries because I'm giving you this. I'm giving you all my years of wisdom, decades and decades of wisdom, knowledge. I've been in business since I was 12 years old. Maybe you don't know my story. Successful. Now, have I had businesses that failed? Yeah, just like everyone else. But I had more wins than failures, I guarantee you that. And I had to learn on my own. I really didn't have a lot of great mentors. I had a few people I had a chance and privilege of being around and talking to over the years that gave me and imparted some knowledge and wisdom to me. But 90% of what I did, I had to go out there and scrape and scrap and make errors and mistakes on my own and learn from them. I took my L's as learning, not losses. And I took that information and I saved it and I put it into a book so that you can have the same knowledge I have in my head. You can actually take a fractal of my knowledge, my conscious knowledge on finances when you get my book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. And that's why it's a bestseller in 4 countries. These people who buy the book don't even know who I am. They're coming across the book and going, man, this is good information. They're buying the book. Then they find out who I am, right? So the book has knowledge. It's a 5-star book for a reason. There's a reason why it's 5 stars on Amazon. There's a reason why that, because the book is phenomenal. I'm dropping gems in there the whole way through. I'm teaching you financial literacy from step 1 all the way to step 10. And I'm giving it to you in a way that you can digest it and actually understand it and act on it, all right? But investing is important. That's why I've decided to create this opportunity for people to buy shares of Forbidden Knowledge so that people can get used to learning how to invest in things, especially startups. You know, pre-IPO companies that are IPO, companies that are gonna go. IPO means initial public offering, right? Pre-IPO means you're getting in before they go to the IPO stage or before you go to the initial public offering. And then you have an opportunity when that company hits NASDAQ, if it blows, you got an opportunity to blow up with that company. And I want to be able to be in a position to give people that same exact opportunity, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Finding a way to give back while I'm helping myself at the same time. It's a parlay. Okay, like I said before, my time is too valuable. I gotta find ways to do things that help people and help me at the same time. Because I can't drain myself. I can't give you the oxygen, man, and me, I can't get no oxygen. That's not gonna work out. I'll be dead and you'll be alive. And eventually, you'll fall because you'll copy what I did. You gotta teach people a different way.